Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Friday Night Live Hypnosis. Do you want to get hypnotized through the screen? That's what we're going to be doing tonight. Tonight, as always, I am joined by my good friend, my colleague, fellow hypnotist, Brian Bay. Hello, Brian.
Hey, how are you doing, Jim?
Good. Looks like you're out on location somewhere. Where are you at?
I'm at the Shrine, Lake Terrace.
Ah, fantastic. Out doing an event for the Shriners.
Yes. So we're doing. I'm sitting in a luxurious Potentate's lounge, and I think if I get my phone to, that's just going to reflect on the glass, but you can kind of see the lights out there. Yeah. That's the whole haunt for the season.
Cool. So tell us, for those of us that don't know, what's a Potentate's lounge?
The Potentate is basically the head guy in charge who runs the whole thing, and his lounge upstairs is basically it's where he entertains. We have a bar in here, and Shriners like to drink and be merry. There's probably eating involved, but a lot of fellowship, and then we rent the place out for weddings and just a variety of different events. So all the money that gets generated, goes back to both the temple for upkeep and things like that, and then we also have everything for Shriners Children's that goes into the fund to provide medical care for kids who are burn victims, cleft palate, the prosthetics. For kids who need it, and the families don't get a bill, so we pay for travel costs and everything like that. And it's a great organization. It allows the families to not worry about getting medical care or paying the bills. We just want the kids, the families, to focus on supporting the kids and go through the healing process.
Fantastic. So tonight, of course, we are doing Friday Night Live. We are doing fun with hypnosis. So if you're tuning in now for hypnosis, you've come to the right place. We're going to do hypno chat for about a half an hour from 8:30 to 9. We're going to be talking with our guest hypnotist this week. And our guest hypnotist this week is Canadian. Don't hold that against him. He's still a swell fella, even though he is Canadian. He, you know what I should have brought? He presented me with an honorary Canadian took at the Hypnothoughts conference last year. I should have worn it for the occasion. I will dig it out. It's about time to start digging it out. But anyway, so this guy, he's a certified hypno badass. He's a hypnotherapist, stage hypnotist, speaker, all around swell fella. Please welcome Mr. Shawn Kostiuk. Say,
close enough, Jim. You got it pretty good.
How's it go again?
Good.
How do you pronounce the name again?
So it's from the originally Ukrainian was Kostiuk, but really it's Kostiuk.
Kostiuk. All right, great. Kostiuk. Fantastic. So, hey, welcome, Shawn. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Hey, if you're out there, if you're watching, if you're listening, please let us know where you're listening from. Looks like we've got somebody over in the live chat already. We've got Alexa back. Sending loving vibrations once again, was about to sleep, but had to come on and listen to Brian's Elvis voice, probably.
And if we're butchering your name, we apologize again.
Exactly.
You'll have to do the phonetic spelling in the chat.
Exactly. Hey, and if you are watching over on, Facebook has changed things recently. And they've screwed everything up, as they oftentimes do. And so if you're watching on Facebook or anywhere else, you're probably not seeing the links that I'm dropping. But maybe you are. So I'm going to talk about dropping links. If you don't see them, I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm going to put the link over on Facebook. And the reason I'm saying this, if you're on YouTube, if you see a link somewhere right now that says wave.video with some stuff, if you want to join us, you want to get hypnotized live on the air, you can jump onto that that, what do you call it? That link, that stream. Becca is here. Becca Rose. Hello, Becca.
Oh, Becca should see the links. She wants to join us tonight.
She wants to join us. So before we get the hypnosis going, of course, we are going to talk with Shawn a little bit. Shawn, what part of you're in the based on your Facebook post, you live in hell, but no, it's not called that. What's the official?
We do have a lot of interesting names in our province. So I live in Saskatchewan, which is if you're looking from the west coast north of where you are, you would have British Columbia, Alberta, and then Saskatchewan.
Gotcha.
Toontown, where they have the hockey stick convention.
There you go, Saskatoon. Yeah, it's my favorite city.
Awesome. So, and the reason I say hell because like it's already been snowing there, right, Shawn?
It snowed once already. It's what I call, and it's already melted. So we're back into our second round of fake autumn, and it will probably be that way for a couple more weeks, and then we'll likely have permanent snow on the ground.
Gotcha. And then, you just guys get deep, thick snow, freezing cold.
I showed you a picture of what it looked like last year. Yeah, I think you'd all agree that kind of does look like hell, as Jim pointed out. I think if you go back in my Facebook feed, there's probably a picture out my front window with about 4 or 5 feet of snow piled up on one side of the yard, and lots more to pile up if I were really wanted to. So.
Yeah, and then there's kids like me who grew up in Southern California, part fish, who never got to experience a snowball fight, a snow day, anything like that. I feel like my life's in.
You grab Jim. You guys come up here. Make sure that Jim has his toque.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and, I'll make sure I got a toque for you as well, and we'll have a snowball.
Does it have the little puffy ball on top?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, classic. I love it.
Yeah.
I gave it to Jim for the very express purpose. I knew he was going up to Alaska in a couple of months.
That's right.
And I said, we should get Jim something. And so there were a few Canadians that were in the Badass Hypnosis group that Jim was hosting in Hypnothoughts. And I said to him, look, I'm just going to grab something for Jim, and we'll present it to him. And we got a big laugh out of it because Jim looked pretty cool in a toque. So
definitely. I mean, I can pull it off. Fitness model. I mean, I can do just about anything. Yeah.
See, now the problem is if I came up, and Shawn, you're going to appreciate this because you guys have the WHL with the Saskatoon Blades. Yep. And I live in Everett, Washington with the Everett Silver Tips. So I'd wear all my silver tips, green, white, and silver, and I'd probably get lynched.
Yeah, I was thinking I don't want to hang out with you.
But you guys would say sorry.
We're a little more reserved.
Yeah, exactly. They won't lynch you.
Except at hockey games. Right. So yeah, you might.
They'll just douse me in maple syrup and leave me outside.
No, I had my maple syrup tonight already, so I'm okay. Jim will appreciate my supper. Was I decided, you know what? I'm done. I've had a really long week this week. It's been go. So I made myself some pancakes with maple syrup and about 14 strips of thick cut bacon.
Oh, bless you, sir.
Wow. 14.
No pineapple.
That's what I'm talking about. Bravo, sir. Bravo. Hey, if you guys have questions for Shawn, drop them down below. What's it like to be a Canadian hypnotist? Shawn, I didn't know about this about you, but I'm reading your bio. You, like I guess I had the same thing. You were interested in hypnosis ever since high school. Tell me about that.
Yeah, and then probably even a little bit before that. I mean, we all grew up in for those people that are younger than us, we grew up in the last century. So, our cartoons were violent and our cartoons had all kinds of really cool stuff in them. And, it wasn't as nice and neat as it is now. So for me, I lived so Saskatoon is kind of in the center of the province. Its nickname is actually Hub City. But I lived just north of there, about an hour and a bit, in a town called Battleford. And Battleford at one time was the capital of what was the Northwest Territories. massive, huge territory that covered most of Western Canada. But when I lived there, no longer was it the capital, but it was a really great place to grow up, except for me, I grew up just outside of Battleford. And just outside of Battleford means either you're walking to go do something to get into town because you didn't have a driver's license, or you bring home books from the library and hope there's something really good on TV. And so it was the books that I brought home, and as many as I could from either the public library or the school library. Neither of them had really all that much, but when I hit university, I probably spent more time in the psychology section in university than I did either in the education section or the education library, because they have a whole library themselves. But it was just anything I could read. And then, of course, my second year of university, wound up with a fairly significant group of friends, all of whom were kind of interested in it. So, of course, that was really great practice for me. So,
yeah. And so I can still remember the numbers. It was 796 point whatever, right? Those were the Dewey Decimal numbers. So if you're ever in the library, you want to go find all the, it's funny, they always put it with meditation and occult and voodoo and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. I hate that. It doesn't matter. You can go into a bookstore and it's in the occult section, and it's like, it's just as bad as the media and the way they represent hypnosis.
Yeah. Now, it was easy back then because I was just interested in all the weird stuff. So it was easy just to go over to 796 and find everything. But yeah, you get a little older and you find out, this isn't really, it's not related to a lot of these other subjects. Really.
It's not even, and I've had this discussion with probably about 7 or 8 people in the last week. Mm-hmm. It's not what the media represents us as at all. I don't think, unless you're tuning into like a morning news broadcast and they happen to have a real hypnotist there, it's not what you see in the movies. It's not what you see on TV. It's just not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I've had people, I had somebody recently, within the month or something, had commented down below a video, said, what does past life regression have to do with hypnosis? And I'm like, it doesn't have to have anything to do with it. It's not, people have these ideas that, like, what do crystals have to do with hypnosis? And what do tarot cards have to do with hypnosis? And it's like, well, certain people in our industry do use crystals or pendulums, and they do past life regression, but they're separate things. Hypnosis, scientific process for doing what we do. And those other things, some people think that they help or whatever. So it's a little challenging.
You know what? I go back to something I learned from Mike Mandel. Anything that assumes trance creates trance, right?
That's great. Yeah.
And so that means we can use anything to begin pushing people into that trance. So if it's a tarot card or a crystal, or in my case, I was working with a client that was a bit resistant. So after the third kick at getting him to relax, it was pull out the good old pocket watch, and use the pocket watch. And sure enough, the pocket watch did it. So, whatever we're using to get you to change your focus, that's what we can use to get you into that trance.
Well, based on that, 2 weeks ago, I used a motorcycle to induce trance.
Right.
Why not?
I got bucked off the cycle and landed on it. Smacked my head pretty hard, but that was. I'm back on the mend. I went and saw the chiropractor yesterday, and things are where they're supposed to be now.
Good. I was going to say that's one of the things that I appreciate about working with Brian. We go out on the streets, do street hypnosis and that kind of thing. And he oftentimes is just making up inductions, on the spot. And where, I think a lot of hypnotists get this idea that, they go and learn a bunch of inductions and they're like really stuck to that. And they're like reading a script and I've got to do it this certain way. And it's just not true.
No, you know what? You need to be flexible.
Yeah. And what would you say about that, Brian? How did you discover that? How did you just start doing that?
Well, it first started with you laying me down on the corner of was it 48th and University, right outside the University of Washington, in a gutter. People were like, "Is he having a heat stroke, or is he okay?" Because it was a summer day, like a farmer's market, and so that drew a crowd. And then we took Justin James's street hypnosis. I don't the formal name escapes me, but
street hypnosis.
Great instruction. And then just getting out there, it was just sort of like just kind of make it up as you go along and just see what I could get away with. And I wasn't a professional. It was the first time out doing it, and I'm kind of like, if I suck at this, I'm the new guy. If I do something and it works, and I think it was like the first time that I got somebody to do the eye lock or the sticky fingers, and I listened to you guys talk about the element and all these other different names, and I'm like, okay, the eye thingy, the finger thingy, the grippy hands, and it's just kind of like, get out of your own way and just go for it. You get some little certain levels of compliance, and then you're able to just kind of judge the level of trance. And I'm not sure if you want me to get into like specifics as far as like strategies, but when you get people to close their eyes, do something, open their eyes, bring them back down, it's like they just kind of go deeper, and then you can really get into some fun stuff. But there's the safe on stage, the ethics, where you're not going to say, hey, this will be funny. You're going to open your eyes, you're covered in snakes and spiders, because people will run out into traffic, and I don't want to do that paperwork. You look at yourself as like an ambassador of, just like motorcycle riding. I'm newly licensed. I don't want to go out there riding like a clown. I'll give people their.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and the same thing with hypnosis. If somebody has a bad experience, you may not just them off, but like the 50 people that are around you going, I don't want to do this, look terrified.
Right.
Yeah. You want them to like everybody laugh. Look at the big ear to ear smile that they have. And I think what really, the first time when I did kind of like there's no formal name for it, but the guy and his girlfriend hypnotized the girlfriend, and then I was like, okay, when I touch your boyfriend on his shoulder and kind of lightly tickle, she's gonna see me like barely grazing his shoulder. I'm like, you're gonna feel that, and then you just watch like the goosebumps form on her arm, and you can't fake that, and that blew a lot of people's minds, including my own. And I was like, all right, maybe there's something to this. And then it's like, all right, how far can we push this envelope?
Yeah.
I had the same. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of speaking in the same university course for a colleague of mine, former colleague of mine, because he's been retired 16 times already. But the class,
he'll get it.
Well, eventually he'll decide that it really will stick. But I'll be back next year again, because it'll be 17 times that he'll retire. But not this past class, but the class previous to that, we actually did get a couple of volunteers to come up, and one of them was absolutely out like a light. And I had a bunch of naysayers I know in the class, because they said, how many of you think this is real? How many of you think it isn't? And how many of you are on the fence? By the time I was done, it was, doing an arm lock with one of them. I had another one that took her time to get into trance. And I said, no, just keep looking. We're just going to keep rolling with this. And then all of a sudden, boom, she was a noodle. So
people ask, is hypnosis real? And then it's like, let me show you. You bring up the starting offensive lineman, the school's football team. And when he's, dancing like a ballerina singing, I'm a little teapot, you're like, yeah, that's not going to do that on his own, not without alcohol.
Well, and that's the thing, and we often present it as everybody is in control of what they're doing, and they are. But there are a whole bunch of scenarios that we can whip up and have people visualize that they don't even think about. And, you know, it's funny, like on stage, I've seen some of, you know, Jim's clips and whatnot from his shows. Like just recently, Jim, you had the one girl that really thought you were a celebrity.
Yeah. Not just the celebrity that I already am. Yeah.
One of your fellow countrymen, Shawn.
Yeah. You know, we're famous up here.
Well, I wanted to I was actually have that's what I was doing. I was queuing that up because that video up because it's really short. I want to watch it real quick with everybody because I want to it kind of hits on a couple of things you guys are talking about. Like Brian's talking about, you know, like going through a few different things, trying different things out. Shawn, you talked about, you know, working through and going. It's basically going from easiest to hardest. And this is one of the things that we run into sometimes when we're working. Like if you're a hypnotist out there, it's one of the things we run into with bookers. Like I had somebody hire me to do a short show, like for some kind of it was a school event, assembly. And it was like 15 minutes. And I'm like, going, hey, this is tough. And when I did the show, and there were a couple of okay volunteers, but the woman said, well, I just wanted to kind of get an idea of, you know, show them a sample of hypnosis, and then maybe we bring you back for a full show. And I'm like, it's a totally different experience. 15 minutes, it's like exponentially better if you do a full hour, do full 45 minutes, because we're starting off at you know, we might people feel hot and cold, and then we get to another level. And somebody actually asked me about this video. They said, well, was that really quick, or was that something that you'd kind of done a induction and reinduction and that kind of a thing? And it was definitely a reinduction because it was a full show. So
it's almost like you go, hey, I've got 15 minutes. All right, well, I've got 15 minutes to bake a cake,
right? So
that you can get a taste. And I'm like, the cake is going to taste like garbage,
right?
But let me do what I need to do and really get. Hey, here's a video clip. You know what? Let me just knock them. You know, mine. I guarantee you're going to have it back.
Yeah. So I think that's something, you know, it's really tough too, because we do see a lot of rapid hypnosis online, but a lot of it it's a reinduction, and where they're cutting out the other part of it. You know, the first part, the first, you know, few times they did the hypnosis, they're also cutting out all the times that it didn't go the way they wanted it, you know. So I'm going to show that clip real quick. We're going to take a look at that. And if you're watching at home, please feel free to comment. Pretty girl, and this is really, it's so interesting. She was such a great subject.
Reynolds. Yeah, and you're very excited to meet me. Yeah. Now, and we're just telling people.
I can hear it. I can't see it.
Deadpool.
Oh.
Deadpool. I mean, you're so excited you're crying.
Yeah, I'm so excited because you're so hot.
Hey, what's the laughter about? What are you? That's serious. I am quite handsome. Yes, and I'm so glad to have met you. What is your name?
My name's Emily Britt.
Emily, I'm going to put this on my TikTok. You'll find it. Actually, I'm going to give it to this guy, Jim Kellner, hypnotist. You'll find it there.
Okay.
Have a seat. And
I did not get a picture either.
Looks like I'm on my own.
Jim's got a.
There we go.
There we are.
So,
when you said the you know, find me at Jim Kellner on my TikTok, I was waiting to hear a "damn, I'm pretty" come from the audience behind you.
I know. I don't think I had primed that. No, it was a high school show, so you got to watch out. The parents, the kids will be fine with it, but the parents, they're kind of difficult, so we don't use that one there.
I'm not sure why we, you know, in school, and I can say this because I've been in the education sector for almost 30 years now. It has changed a lot. It's not as prim and proper as it used to be, mostly because we, you know, can't use rulers and yardsticks for things that we used to do.
Well, it depends on where you're
the inmates are running the asylum.
Yeah. You know, I got. Well, they called them hacks. It was a paddle. I had to go to the office for that a few times. Straighten me out. But
Yeah, I'm smart enough to avoid that.
yeah, but you know,
and like the school always has that one staff member that, you know, like if they come into the classroom unannounced and they point at you and they call you by name and go, "Come here," you're like, no one's ever going to see me alive again.
So
Like
listen,
I'm in a lot of trouble.
You want to get into those stories? I could go for hours. I had one teacher, and I'll answer that question in just a second, Alexa. I had one teacher, Mr. Karczynski, tall guy, really nice guy, really soft spoken. But when he got teaching math, he knew exactly what you were doing, where you were, and he would be writing something on the board, and then he would just go, "And Shawn will answer the question," and like, and he would do that to everybody. So he paid attention in his class.
Well, it's you know, it really is about the parents, because those are put on by the parents usually, those events. And even though these kids are 17, 18 years old, it depends on where you're doing it too. If you're doing it in Seattle, a big metropolitan area, it's probably fine. This was a tiny little town in California. I've done, you know, tiny little towns in Phoenix, and I've even asked them about it. They're like, no, don't say damn. Okay. But Shawn, we're going to be at start. So everybody who's watching, I did put up Shawn's, his address, if you want to get a hold of Shawn, you can find him on Facebook. You can also find him at Mind Machine Hypnosis. What a great name. Go check him out. We're going to start with the hypnosis in just a few minutes. We got 3 minutes left of Hypno Chat. Shawn, can you give an interesting, bizarre hypnosis story in just a couple of minutes?
Ready, go.
Yep. Okay. So in 2 minutes. So my group of friends that I was talking about in university, how we actually met, we were in the cafeteria of the college, St. Thomas College, on campus, and they were all trying to you know, trace circles around their back and, you know, have them fall backwards. I said, no, let me show you. Wham, wham, wham. After that, we were all friends. I don't know, maybe it was a suggestion. But after that, then they were all quite interested, and we had one of our friends, Rhonda, who was quite a somnambulist, and she was a cat once, and you know, other things. So you know, if we needed somebody to do something kind of crazy, she was always the one that would be right there. You know, and every person that you work with is different. And like I said, you know, it ranges from somebody who's out in like 30 seconds to somebody who wants to release all their trauma to, oh my gosh, you know, here's somebody who just wants to go absolutely freaking nuts because they don't think they're responsible for anything. So
Those are the fun.
Yeah, Rhonda was quite fun to work with. There's no question.
What's been your, do you remember your favorite person to work with right offhand, Brian?
There were, I'd say probably two. There was the Mill Creek Festival where I think, Jim, you were working with somebody, and it was like, I think they were like blonde, like twin sisters, like high school, like seniors in high school. And I was, you know, chatting with them, and they had questions, and you were like, and sleep. And her sister, who was talking to me, just sitting cross-legged on the ground, just all of a sudden just goes and dropped them. You're next. She did a telephone audition to open up for Eminem, and so she sang "I'm the Real Slim Shady" line for line into her shoe. And that was, she was all super psyched about that. And then I think the one that we've got, you took the video, and it's on your YouTube channel somewhere, when G-Ray, we were out at Alki, and G-Ray was working with that guy, and he was like, the dude forgot from the waist down, you're like tree trunks, and just folded, and G-Ray barely halfway caught him, and then I just stepped in because G-Ray was, you know, not equipped physically, you know, with age and disability for that. But yeah, that guy was just on another planet. It was that was a ton of fun.
Nice.
If I was sitting at my computer at home, I would dig that up, and then I would send the link and post it in here. But you'll have to remind me to do that
next time. Yeah, let's do that next time. Absolutely. Yep. So hey, we are going to get started with hypnosis. Becca is willing to come on. She's just nervous about she just can't talk because she doesn't want to wake the family. And so that's fine. Love to have you on anyway. Becca, so if you'll click the link, we'll bring you on. And Alexa would like to, what's it say? Brian making him think that he's singing Love Me Tender in white and gold one-piece suit.
Oh God, I'm gonna bring out the costume for that.
Speaking of which, I was gonna wear my Starfleet uniform, but
set your phasers to stun.
And that's not just for Halloween, Brian. That's not just he literally just has one. Anyway,
one for every day, right?
One for every day. All right. So hey guys, you excited to get started with some hypnosis?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So if you want to join us where you'll be shown on the stream, tap the link. Otherwise, looks like we got a bunch of viewers right now. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, or lie down, whatever you want to do. When we talk about fun with hypnosis, what we're really talking about is the kind of stuff that you might see at a comedy hypnosis show or during street hypnosis. And you'll kind of find out this is not therapy.
We're going to be totally silly tonight.
That's it. We're going to be totally silly. It's non-therapeutic, although you may get some value out of it. You may feel relaxed. You may release some whatever. But one thing is really important. One thing, please don't listen while you're driving or moving around because you could zone out completely and get really, really relaxed and, close your eyes and fall asleep and get in a wreck. And that would be bad. So don't do that. But otherwise, hypnosis, perfectly safe for most people. If you have any kind of severe mental issues that you're maybe under care for or should be under care for, taking meds for, you may not want to get hypnosis until you get cleared by your doctor. Shawn, it's your dealer's choice tonight, so you get to start us off with whatever you'd like, or you're welcome to pass if you're shy to get things fired up right away.
I'm a gentleman. I'll definitely pass and let everybody else. After you, I'll be first.
Alexa, you're not interrupting anything at all. We welcome the comments. We love the comments. Please comment more. We won't let you interrupt us. We won't post the comments if it's interrupting. So don't worry. You are welcome to do it. All right. So Brian, you got anything you want to try out, or we just get going with it? Want me to get started?
I'm still not like 100%, all the way there after dumping the bike.
Alrighty.
I just don't have anything like kind of off the top of my head. I'm still clearing out some cobwebs, but I might be able to jump in, and I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. If somebody comes on, I'll be able to, try to do some quick stuff. But
all right, sounds good. All right, well, I'm going to get started. So again, please don't listen while you're driving or moving around. And if you'd like to participate, great. If you don't want to participate, just don't really follow the instructions. All right. Becca says it ain't working. That's unfortunate. Let's drop the link again. See if it does now. Boom. There we go. So
when you click on the link, it'll take you to like a waiting room type thing. Your name, and then you click on join meeting, and then it'll wait for Jim to let you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll hear a little ding dong doorbell thing.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so if you're out there, you're watching, you're ready to get hypnotized, this is your chance. Please place your hands together like this. Just like that. Perfect. Separate your fingers. I want you to look through those fingers. What I want you to do is I want you to take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, you separate those fingers, and I want you to notice what happens. Just notice what begins to happen. Without even trying, you're going to find that those fingertips want to come closer together. And the more that you resist, the faster they come together. This is a test of your imagination. I want you to let those fingers come together. Now, you're welcome to resist anytime you want to, but that's not really why you were here. That's not why you're participating tonight. If you want to have fun, you want to experience something really cool, I want you to just let those fingertips come together. It's as if there's magnets on the ends of them. And we've all played with magnets when we were kids. They'd get attached together and they'd stick. Remember how sometimes they would get really sticky and they would just stick together? When those fingers come together, it's going to be just like those times when those magnets, maybe in school, we had those powerful magnets, they stuck together. And then I want you to just notice what it feels like when they become so stuck together, they don't want to come apart. They don't want to come apart. I want you to just begin to feel as if they're glued together, they're welded together. They're actually one part. They're one part. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to try to pull them apart, but I want you to discover that they won't come apart because you're really focused on making them stick together. And so 1, locking them down one last time. 2, so magnetically attached, so stuck together that the harder you might try to pull them apart, the more locked they become. 3, try to pull them apart, but they just don't want to come apart. They don't want to come apart. They will not come apart. Try harder, even harder, but they don't want to come apart. They don't want to come apart. And then stop trying. Good. And then on the count of 3, this time they will come apart. 1, 2, and 3. Good. That's right. Good. Perfect. Now go ahead and drop a comment down below. If that worked for you, if it didn't work for you, I'd love to just know. We always want to know whether it's working for you or not. Because here's the thing: this is what they don't tell you: is that hypnosis does work on everybody, but this kind of hypnosis doesn't work on everybody every single time because it's really quick, and I'm not working with you one-on-one. Okay. So drop that down. Hey, thanks, Alexa. We'll look forward to you joining us next time. So I want you to just shake off those hands, those fingers. And this time I want you to just go ahead and open your eyes and then close them right back down. Open those eyes, close them right back down. As your eyes are closed, I want you to think about just letting your whole body relax. I want you to imagine that if you're sitting, great. If you're lying down, I want you to imagine that you're sitting, and I want you to imagine that your butt is stuck to the chair. It's really stuck there. It's just, it won't move, so you won't fall out of your chair no matter what happens. And I want you to just think about the possibility, what it would be like if you were in a deep state of trance right now. So take a nice deep breath in. Open your eyes nice and wide. Try to look at your eyebrows. Imagine that you're looking at your eyebrows. Try to look at your eyebrows. Now, as you continue looking at your eyebrows, I want you to keep your eyes looking up at your eyebrows while you still close your eyelids. Try to do that now. Good. And then just relax. Focus. Just allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper with every breath that you take. Going deeper with every breath that you take. Going deeper and further and further and deeper. And as I talk to Shawn and Brian, you won't be disturbed at all because I want you to go down a set of stairs. I want you to continue going down this set of stairs over and over and over again until I say otherwise. There are 10 steps. These are your relaxation stairs. Every step will guide you deeper into trance, deeper into hypnosis. Anytime Shawn or Brian wants to jump in, you are welcome to just jump right in. Good. And as you're relaxing, going down those stairs, I want you to notice what it feels like as your feet touch the chair. As your feet touch the chair. As your feet touch the stairs, I mean. As your feet touch the stairs. Very good. That's good. That's good. I want you to imagine now that you're floating up from those stairs, that you're floating. I want you to get a feeling of floating now. I want you to get this feeling of floating through the air as if you're now floating back on your back, as if you're lying down on a cloud. Feel what it's like to just be lying there on a cloud. That's right. Very good. That's right. Now, as you're relaxing, listening to my voice, what you're going to discover is that in about 20 minutes, we're going to be Good. Just relaxing even deeper now. We're going to be discontinuing this, but you're going to take this suggestion with you even after that. What I want you to do is I want you to lock into your mind that your butt is stuck to that chair. It is totally, completely stuck. If there's any kind of an emergency, you can get up immediately, but otherwise, you will not be able to get up out of that chair until 5 minutes after we complete this video. 5 minutes after this video, you will be able to get up. But until then, your butt is stuck to that chair. You will not be able to move it. You're going to find it so funny, so absolutely hilarious that you can't stand up, that you'll be compelled to write a comment in the comments section talking about how your butt was stuck to the chair. And now, as you start to think about your butt becoming stuck to the chair, you start to feel it getting stuck. I'm going to bring you up in just a few moments, but that butt's going to stay stuck, and you're going to remember that suggestion. But as you start to think about that butt being stuck in that chair, it starts to make you laugh. It starts to make you giggle because it's really funny. As you start to kind of wiggle around a little bit, you find that it already is stuck. It's not going to bother you at all, but it feels stuck right now, and it starts to get really, really funny. Just the thought of your butt being stuck to that chair. Your butt is stuck to the chair. Feel it being stuck. It's going to stay stuck until 5 minutes after the end of this video. Open your eyes nice and wide, close them down, and sleep. Go deeper and deeper with every breath that you take. Very good. Deeper and deeper with every breath that you take. Good. And you'll just relax there. And if Shawn or Brian wants to jump in at any time, you're welcome to do so.
And now what you're going to do is take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're just going to find yourself drifting, dropping, and falling. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's 1,000 miles away, and the only thing that matters is the sound of my voice. And if your name happens to be Alexa and you're not in the United States, my voice sounds like Elvis Presley singing Love Me Tender. Thank you very much. If your name is Becca and you might be from the UK, you're just going to giggle uncontrollably. And every time that I snap, Jim snaps, or Shawn snaps, you're just going to feel just amazing amounts of pleasure, just waves of happiness and enjoyment and just general good feelings flowing right through you.
Excellent. Taking those suggestions deep, deep within you. Feeling so good now, Becca, so good. And even as Brian stopped talking, Alexa, you can still hear his voice in your head. And you're going to take that voice with you all week long at odd times. At odd times, you're going to hear Brian singing Love Me Tender. And it's going to sound just like Elvis Presley. And it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you giggle as well. So fun. So funny. Good. And as you're relaxing, in just a moment, we're going to bring you back to full awareness. You're going to keep these suggestions, though. You're going to keep all of these suggestions. You're going to feel like you're wide awake, but you're still in a deep, deep, deep state of trance, a deep, deep state of trance. Nod your head if you understand. Very good. 1, 2, 3, wide aware, feeling really, really good. Talk about your experience. Did you, if you felt anything, you didn't feel anything? As always, we never want you to fake anything, but if you feel something, go with it. Don't resist. Brian, I got to tell you, you're looking pretty devilish tonight with the beard, the kind of the red light going on.
Oh, it's actually there's one of those. Well, my phone's going to rotate. Give it something to come back. So if you look around, there's a whole bunch of these old school chandeliers, and I kind of just happened to be sitting underneath one, and so some shadows are playing with it today. But
it's a great look.
We got the mood lighting.
It's a great look for you. It's a great look for you.
Yeah, nothing like being told you look like the devil.
I thought it said devilish. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Shawn, what's your favorite street hypnosis type thing to do?
Oh, Shawn, you got to unmute yourself.
How about
There. Oh, hold on.
That.
Okay, go ahead, Shawn.
There we go. So here's what I generally get the most laughs with is when somebody is just going along, we drop them into hypnosis, we bring them back out, and somewhere along the way, because I'm Canadian and it gets cold outside, we just kind of all freeze. And when they freeze in a spot, what happens is I can then bring up the people that are with them and say, look, like, this is real. And it becomes a really powerful demonstration of what happens to somebody when they're in trance and when they're actually able to control, have that hyper control of their body. So
nice.
And then when like the people, the audience like realizes that it's not real, it's like something clicks, just like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That, and even the classes that I was speaking at a couple years ago, that was the most powerful demonstration, because I brought the naysayers up and said, okay, you put your arm out and make it as tight as you can and make it as rigid as you can, and they were able to push it down without a problem. And we did that with somebody who was under, and the ladies had much stronger arms than the guys thought they did.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever had any of your hypnosis subjects lose a piece of their anatomy, like their belly button falls off, or perhaps something else?
Well, they've lost some information up here a few times.
Nice.
That's also a really fun one to do, because again, everybody might, again, if it's a name, everybody around them knows who they are. They could tell them their name, but they don't know their name until we tell them to.
Jim, have you had any of your participants lose anything?
Oh, all the time. The most valuable thing to them, oftentimes, yes. That's when I actually realized that hypnosis is actually, the hypnosis shows are real. I'd been doing hypnotherapy for a couple of years, so I knew I could help people with smoking and stuff like that, but I didn't really know if stage hypnosis was legit. And I told the guy that his valuable piece of his anatomy was missing, and he started crying right there. And it was real. It was legit. And I felt so bad. And so needless to say, it came back bigger and better than ever before, and everyone was happy in the end.
Yeah.
But I remember the one that you did, that you went into like full insurance adjuster mode combined with like detective. You were like, can you describe it for me? And like, if you put a value on it, and he was like, oh, about like $1.75. And you were like, US or Canadian?
Well, you got to be careful.
He started just rolling like full blown.
Yeah.
Oh, he started rolling full blown, America, and we're like, how big is it? And he's like, oh, it's like about this, and the audience just lost it.
They love that stuff. They do. So they love other people's pain. Let's see.
But Jim, being the super awesome guy, he was like, oh, hey, there it is. It just came back. Magic show, and all was right in his world.
We always find it in the end, don't we? Wait, that didn't.
Yeah.
Never mind. So Alexa, the fingertips works. Never fakes anything. Good for you. Not touching that one. Becca feels so good. Can't stop smiling. I wish it wasn't so late for you, Becca. It's awesome that you stay up for us. She's in the
That's
UK.
early over.
Yeah, or early, yeah. Found out how to join. She said but I don't think she did. So she said her butt's stuck too. She likes the snaps, Brian. And chair thing. I didn't want to listen, but the fingertips definitely worked. My imagination is naturally strong. That's really one of the keys to hypnosis, right, guys? It's you have a really strong imagination. If you can really see it, feel it, hear it works a lot better for you.
Well, the little attorney in me, Jim, is saying that your instructions were 5 minutes after the broadcast ended.
Yes.
So at the end, we'll have them make note at the time and be like, all right, 5 minutes starts now. And
yes, absolutely. And we've got about 10 minutes of show left. Shawn, why don't you do a little induction for us? And we've got Becca on the line. Hello, Becca. We know you can't talk, but thanks so much for joining us.
Okay. All right, now I think everybody's ready. What I'm just going to get you to do is just close your eyes, take in a nice deep breath, and allow yourself to drop right back down to where you were. Just allow that hypnosis to wash over you and take you right back down, deeper and deeper, more and more, feeling wonderful and relaxed. And as you relax and you're listening to us, just allow yourself that peace. In just a moment, what I'm going to get you to do is extend your arms straight out in front of you. As you extend your arms straight out in front of you, I want you to imagine that your arms are becoming stiff and rigid, stiff and rigid, stiff and rigid, just like steel bars. Allow yourself to become stiff and rigid. And as you become more stiff and more rigid, just allow your arms to stay straight out there. That's right. Allow yourself to go down into that trance. Deep breath in. And as your arms become more stiff and more rigid, what you'll find very quickly is that they won't be able to bend no matter how hard you try. You won't be able to bend them. And then what I'd like you to do is allow that stiffness and that rigidity to move throughout the rest of your body. Just like you were frozen, just like a statue. Allow everything to become stiff and rigid. It may tighten up. You may sit up a little bit straighter, allowing everything to become stiff and rigid, just like you were a statue. And as a statue, of course, statues don't move. You'll still be able to breathe. And you'll actually be able to open your eyes, look around, and you'll be able to speak. Maybe quietly. I don't wake anybody else up. But if you're stiff and rigid, you won't be able to let us know, but I can see Becca's starting to fight it a little bit. That's good. Doing wonderfully. Okay, and I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to 3, you'll be able to move again. 1, 2, and 3. Allow yourself to move. Shake it all out. That one always gets a good, like I said, everybody comes around, and when you try and push down on somebody and you can't, you're actually surprised by the strength that we have when we're in that hypnotic state. It's an amazing thing, and that to me is the biggest convincer in street hypnosis. So
nice, awesome. Brian, did you want to run us through something, or are you still recovering?
Almost looks like Brian frozen there.
Let me give this a shot. I'll come up with something here. So, okay. Becca, are you able to hear me all right? No. I'm not sure if there's a lag or not on my connection, but so Becca, I want you to just take a deep breath in for me. Just inhale, exhale. I just want you to just let your head drop forward and just sleep now, just drifting, dropping. falling is nice and relaxed. And I want you to concentrate on the sound of my voice. The only thing that matters to you right now is the sound of my voice, and the words that I say are your reality. I'm here to tell you. So it's just a temporary thing. So what you do, 3, 2, 3, your eyes wide awake, feeling great, wonderful right now. Sitting back, brush your hair out of your parasol so we can see you, just feeling amazing. And now what I want you to do is you're going to help yourself feel just absolutely amazing. You're going to take your right hand, just feel yourself just kind of scratch the end of your nose. And then when you just, as you touch your nose, you're just going to feel something just right inside your belly just kind of start kind of buzzing, and it's going to feel good. And the more it feels good, the more you're going to laugh. And the more you scratch your nose, the better it feels. The better it feels, the more you laugh. And the more you laugh, the better it feels. And the more you want to do that. So, and then just on the count of 3, just sleep, drifting, dropping, falling right back down, relax, just feeling absolutely amazing. And I'm going to turn this over to Jim. I'm just having trouble seeing everybody on such a small screen with reactions and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you've got the phone.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Becca looks like she's out. Fantastic. She probably used a little bit of sleep. So, hey, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Hey, Shawn, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Anytime. Just give me a call.
Absolutely. Brian, as always, you're such a fantastic co-host.
Yeah. I want everybody to take note of the time.
Yes, we will definitely make sure everybody is aware of the time. Hey, if you want to try hypnosis, kind of a more therapeutic type of stuff, get my hypnosis download, Unlimited Happiness, at jimkellner-hypnotist.com/free-hypnosis. There's Hypno Kitty. Hey, Hypno Kitty. So everybody join us next Friday. We'll be right back here again where we'll do more of a therapeutic type session. Of course, we never do therapy because we're not working one-on-one with you, so we can't really do therapy. But please do join us next week for some therapeutic style. It'll be kind of healing type work, stress reduction, helping you with your goals, that kind of stuff. I'm hypnotist Jim Kellner. I was joined by hypnotist Brian Bay, hypnotist
Real quick.
Yeah. Kostiuk?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Becca, 1, 2, 3, wide awake, right back up, sit back up. Come back to us, Becca. There you go.
There she is. And
That's a good girl.
So remembering your previous suggestions, the time starts immediately when this episode ends, which is just about now. Take care. Be well.